Yeah. Shit. It's Dubs. Dubs in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't know, bro, because I don't want to be on my cell phone like when we on, because that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Shit. What's happening, world? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun, here at Where Media Meets Studios in conjunction with VJTV, Earl Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions, you know. It's Friday, what's today, the 27th, 28th?
29th, actually.
29th.
No, 28th, my bad.
Is it 28?
It's the 28th.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, you know, shit. We got
28.
Got the motherfucking Dubs playing right now against the Sacramento Queens. Queens.
So if you're watching this, let us know you there.
Yeah, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? It's Dub Nation. You know what I'm saying? We finna do this shit. Game 6. It's a beautiful Friday. Spring weather is just flourishing right now. You know, shit. The weather is just, man, it's immaculate. It's beautiful.
I just wanted to use flourishing in a sentence.
Mm-hmm. I like to use words that sentences where I can use a semicolon.
It's hilarious.
So, let everybody introduce themselves as usual.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Earl Films, a.k.a. Earl the Most, a.k.a. Earl All That, a.k.a. Hella AKAs.
All that.
Yeah, I did that.
We got our producer in the building tonight.
Rock, a.k.a. husband. A.k.a. 32.
Yeah. 32.
A.k.a. 56. I don't look a day over 55 and don't feel a day over 54.
Damn, 50. We did I remember your 50th when we did the casino part. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was 6 years ago, bruh.
Damn. I ain't even.
What, 5, 6?
I ain't even the cranberry and butterscotch age yet. I'll be that this year, but yeah.
Yeah. 5, 6.
Lord willing.
Hey, ain't that like the new cap though? Like, remember back in the day when brothers be like, hey bro, what's up with you? Oh man, I'm all good. And now it's like, hey brother, what's up with you, man? I got up this morning. And then, hey man, I see you tomorrow, man. The God say the same.
Yeah.
Lord willing.
When I was a kid and my grandfather used to say that shit, used to annoy me. Now I find myself,
That's old head prophecies, old isms.
If the Lord say the same.
Old isms, that's pretty good. So do we have to go back there? You can't squeeze blood from a turnip.
You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandma used to tell me, don't use your head for more than a hat wrap.
Yeah. And don't let your mouth check your ass can't cash.
Hey,
Was that it? Don't let your mouth check your ass can't cash.
Hey, you don't think fat meat greedy?
Alligator mouth with a hummingbird ass.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But it's been. I mean, we gonna start off with paying some homage to an icon. You know, we lost a true pillar.
Yes.
Of the melanated world this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking on
rest in peace.
None other than the illustrious brother Harry Belafonte. This man has been a staple for shit. Of course, before I was born.
Over 70 years.
Yes. This man is.
Yeah. What was he, like 96 or something? 90?
Yeah, but you know, all like the heroes back in the day, like him, like Sidney, like like what's my girl? I cannot believe I forgot.
Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Like they in their 90s.
Yeah.
They had a good life. So when they pass away, it's kind of like
it's
like
I'm in
wow.
my 50s, barely hanging on. But hey, what the boy Geechee Dan say? My word is my rep.
Yeah, he was Geechee Dan. What was that, Uptown Saturday Night?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, he goes back to, man, I'm just so foggy right now, bruh. Was it, it's not Carmen? Was it? No, it's not Carmen. Was it Carmen?
Dorothy Dandridge.
Dorothy Dandridge,
Yeah.
Now the thing is, though, is that if people want to really realize how epic dude was, and he wasn't just like, you know, a lot of celebrities will lend their names to causes and stuff like that. One time, Harry Belafonte got the word. They was down there in Mississippi trying to organize.
Yeah, I
and
know
he got the word that
they
they was about to run out. They needed
some paper.
They needed 70 G's in cash, which is like damn near 500 G's in today's money.
Yeah,
right.
And you took it to him.
But here's the thing. He tapped in with everybody he knew, and he raised the 70 bands in cash. Him and Sidney Poitier got in a car from Chicago and tried to drive to Mississippi. But the thing is that there's some Judas. There was some Judases in the mix. There was some black folks who went and let the white folks know that Harry Belafonte was bringing a trunk full of cash to fund the Freedom Run.
Yes.
So the Klan actually was waiting for him on the road.
Yes, I remember.
And then they tried to run him off the road, and they was high-speed chasing.
Yes.
Now imagine that's the equivalent of if Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith was to take a gang of bread somewhere, and the Klan was actually trying to run them off the road.
Yes.
And these cats was like some real-life action heroes. These two are the biggest movie stars in the world.
Exactly.
And they getting chased by Cletus and Jim Bob with a trunk full of cash.
And they related, and they got the same mama and cousin.
And when they got to Mississippi, the brothers that was there came out with the shotguns and everything like that and backed the Klan off, and they was able to help fund the Freedom of Summer, which had led to a lot of that civil rights legislation. Like Harry Belafonte wasn't one of these cats that did what they do now, the equivalent of tweeting a hashtag, and people go, they
motherfuckers sit there and be like, pray for me, and they'll do the praying hands, and that's the prayer.
You know what I'm saying? And people be like, oh, why so-and-so hasn't spoke on it? No. Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier actually put themselves in positions where they could have gotten killed.
Right.
And that's why I don't like when people, when they talk about Sidney Poitier, oh, you're whitewash, and this and that, man. You
they have to risk their life.
Yeah, you don't understand what this cat. Yeah, you know what I
mean?
mean? And it's kind of like, if we see something we don't recognize, like he was just so well spoken.
Right.
And black people took offense, or some black people
he
took
was so
offense at him being well spoken. Like he's a well spoken actor. He's a cat that could go from this movie to this movie.
I had an uncle tell me he didn't respect Sidney Poitier because even though he did all the movies, shit, he never even kissed a bitch in the movies. They had to nigga, I'm sitting there like, man, Sidney Poitier at one point had to represent for the whole generation.
Right.
A whole generation of black men he had to represent for. And as far as I'm concerned, he represented correctly.
And he did it unapologetically.
Exactly. The burden that them men had to carry, I don't think today's
you can't really
people could relate.
Yeah.
There's some that can. I'm not saying all. I don't think many could relate or would take on that responsibility. Right. And when I say, don't get me wrong, you got people nowadays that's doing a lot of things, but the pressure back then was tenfold.
Can you imagine being a bona fide movie star?
Yes.
And putting yourself in a position where you headed down to the Mississippi Delta and there's men waiting that if they get a shot at you, they're going to kill you. It's over. They're not going to hashtag.
Ain't no Cash App.
They're not going to
do Venmo. Ain't no zeal.
What's now they do with Johnson Majors? They're not gonna ruin your reputation.
No,
if they get a chance to, they're going to shoot you
right.
and kill you.
The thing is that that's back in the day when Herbert Hoover had this blacklist. Remember the blacklist? And everybody was on it. Anybody that crossed whatever, anybody was doing stuff for black folks.
You said Herbert.
J. Edgar Hoover.
There was white people who got put on the list for standing.
But J. Edgar Hoover, he blacklisted basically everybody. I remember when Harry Belafonte, this was maybe
they blacklisted Shirley Temple.
Right.
She's black.
You know what I mean? But the thing is that I remember when Harry Belafonte said there was a lot of white actors back then that was tripping off of what he was doing, especially for like civil rights and the whole nine, that ended up apologizing to him. Later on was like, dude, we so sorry, I don't know why we didn't join that, but they was too busy worried about their careers versus really doing what was right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why Martin Luther King gave that speech when he started talking about the white moderates.
Right.
The white moderates will say, I feel you, but not right now.
Well, not right now, yeah.
You know, right now,
when it's socially acceptable.
Let's just be cool. Let's just be cool for right now. And how can you put, and like Martin Luther King said, how can you put a timetable on another man's freedom?
Right.
You know, cats like Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, and the great legendary Dick Gregory, them dudes really put their careers and their actual lives
on the line.
Like, see, now they'll cancel you. It's cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But nobody's showing up to your house to murder you on cancel culture. They was really murdering cats back then. So when Dick Gregory,
they didn't care who you were.
Sidney Poitier, I mean, hell, they murdered Martin Luther King. Like,
and his mama, and they killed Sam Cooke.
So when you really took a stand back in them days, and I ain't mad at some of the cats who didn't take a stand, because, like, for instance, I had a partner of mine tell me one time at the job that Martin Luther King was cowards and whoop-de-whoop, right? And I said, right now, if they tell you go across that bridge in Selma, and it's one policeman standing over there with a billy club, you wouldn't go across that bridge. Imagine if there was 200 police with barbed wire, dogs, cannons, and all that. You know what the average nigga would say? Well, you crazy the motherfucker. I ain't going around there. The crackers finna beat your ass. So for them to go across them counters, go across them bridges, knowing what was waiting on the other side, but feeling like that's what they need to do, you can say, well, I disagree with their methods, but you can't say they was cowards. Because it ain't too many niggas I know who will go around the corner if it's a for show ass whooping, and I don't care what the cause is.
Right.
Just walk around that corner. They probably gonna give you some legislature down the line, but you finna get your ass beat around that corner.
Right.
I don't know a motherfucker that would go around that corner.
That's
Niggas will tell you, shit, we gotta figure some other shit out, because I ain't going around that corner getting my ass beat.
No, not at all.
Not only would they beat your ass, then throw you in jail. Bloody and broken.
And how you sit there for days upon time. And it's a completely different culture.
I always hate to say it, but I used to hate that shirt that people used to say, oh, I'm not my ancestors. And I used to be like,
it's a double-edged sword.
You damn sure not. Because the shit they endured, nigga, I don't think you built for it.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, man, it was like, he was an EGOT winner. And one of his awards, I believe, was his Oscar. It was honorary. It was in a non-competitive category. He's an EGOT winner. You know what I mean? He's got Grammys, he's got Emmys, he's got a Tony. You know what I mean?
And me, I'm not. I you know, there's few of in the melanated
What's up,
world
Lamar?
who has that. Yeah, what's up, Mar? Who have that, and I'm not an award. The trophies that the Pilgrims give us, whatever. But he, like you said, he was about it. Master P quote.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that man was about it. And
I don't give a fuck that white wife. He was with his neck on the line.
That's what I should have started the show.
But the thing is, a lot of the heroes that had a white wife, because I think Sidney was married to a white woman. Quincy Jones was married to a white woman. I mean, a lot of the early heroes, they were married to white folks. But basically, there's probably a reason.
I'll give him credit though.
Because there's some people that just supported you. I mean, you can't help who you love.
Right.
Basically, you know, you heard that on Boomerang.
Yeah.
But
which is true.
You can't.
And
help
also, you think back then, it was really the ultimate fuck you to the establishment.
Right. That's true.
Let's play chess with this shit, because that's what this shit is. It's
Right.
always been chess.
It was a middle finger to the man.
Yeah.
But I'll give Quincy credit though. You know, Quincy married a pure European.
He got some fine ass dogs.
His dog is a straight niggerish.
Rashida.
At one point Rashida was fucking with Tupac.
Yes.
That was
And what Charlie Murphy say? Man, she was mad niggerish.
Wasn't she in I Get Around?
I'm not sure, but she was born with Tupac. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good.
So,
That was Kadada.
That's why I mean Kadada, not
That's
Rashida
okay.
Kadada. But the thing is, though, is that I know there's a generation that come after the fact and look at them cats like, they married a white woman, this and that. But man, Quincy Jones, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, Dick Gregory, and them type of cats, man, they really put their neck on the line.
Right.
Like, I respect Jay-Z on all the business moves he's making, and people say the capitalism and this and that, like, because a lot of people feel like, oh, money is going to save us, this and that, right? And I respect the fuck out of what Jay-Z is doing, but and he's lightweight sticking it to the man business-wise, but I can't imagine a scenario where Jay-Z would put himself in a position where if this shit go wrong, I could get murdered.
Right.
You're right.
Not canceled.
Murder.
You know, I can't picture himself putting himself in a scenario like
It's
that.
it's a different generation.
Hey, what's up, Peaches?
What's happening, Peaches?
Mark Anthony over in the Dominican Republic talking about he's not a passport, bro. The fact that you had to point out that you're not a passport, bro, and your previous acknowledgments of the perfect evening is Vegas with cocaine and a hooker leads me to believe that literally right now while you're saying you're not a passport, bro, there's a Dominican Republic chick with a bloody nose
That's funny.
being beaten by you at this moment.
Man, why I gotta beat him? I mean, I'm sorry, I ain't never been.
Oh, Mark Anthony's a twisted individual.
I know. I'm just saying. That's the homie.
But yeah,
He's the homie, but he's probably making her snorting and kicking her in the ass while she's snorting.
We do not condone violence.
Mark, stop the violence.
But you know, shouts out to Harry Belafonte,
Yeah,
his family.
definitely.
He lived a
Yes.
great life. He was like people.
He's an ancestor.
He's an ancestor. Most people they overuse the word legend. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
They overuse the word legend. You know, cat that's still around that really ain't accomplished anything. Y'all, man, he's legendary. No, you're not, bro.
Yeah.
Now, that's a legend.
I've heard cats refer to themselves as a legend. I've heard cats refer to themselves as legend, and let me tell you something. Number one rule of thumb: don't call yourself a legend.
The people will call you who you are, but it ain't what they call you; it's what you answer to. That's something else, though.
Ooh, 3 a.m. early.
No,
That's an early 3 a.m.
I don't want him to get it at 3 a.m. I want him to get it now.
Yeah, get it now.
You know what I mean? Get that now.
And shout out to Peaches. Peaches is a, and I don't want to, she just said I am legend. I was just about to say, Peaches is
Believe
a
in
legend in
yourself.
the making. She's got several documentaries that she's made, and she is
Still waiting for her to bring her ass on the show.
Now, one thing I can say about Peaches, though, and her documentaries and
said it.
everything, is that she really is one of those type of people. You know, some people say, "Oh, I'm for the truth," no matter who's telling it or no matter what it is.
Right.
I can say that about Peaches. Her movie style and her documentary style is a truth teller. She's a pure artist. Respect.
On the flip side of Harry Belafonte,
Yeah.
there's Jerry Springer.
Yeah. So
Double middle fingers for Jerry.
I don't know, bro.
Jerry is a gift and a curse. It's one of those things. He ain't invited to the barbecue, but entertainment wise, when you look at social, I'm gonna just say this: social media would not be what it is today without Jerry Springer.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep
A
it
lot
a
of
buck.
shows, Maury wouldn't be what it is without Jerry Springer.
I mean, he was a trendsetter.
Hold on, man. You got to look
But-
at it this way. All the TikToks, like America's Funniest Home Video, all
But
that people started
that was
doing
a
crazy
bus
shit.
to hell.
That's
There's a
started.
but.
It's
There's
on
a
the highway
but,
to
though.
hell.
There's a but, though.
What?
Morton Downey Jr. is the cat who actually kicked the door in. Jerry just perfected it.
Morton Downey Jr. was a motherfucking beast.
Yeah.
I will admit.
Jerry just came and said, "Okay, I see what you're doing. Let me make it more
I give
smooth.
Morton, yep.
Let me take the edge off and give it to you
But
straight."
his show didn't start like that, though. Like with all of the what you've seen, what we know the Jerry Springer show is, it didn't start like that.
Yeah,
It
she thought
happened
we was
on
talking about
one
Jerry
show.
Law. No, Jerry Law is alive and well.
Yeah.
What happened is, I think the show went left one day, and that show got high ratings, and they was like, I think we got something here.
And they ran with it.
ran with it.
So the
They
thing,
ran with it.
like I said, double-edged sword. The thing I will say about Jerry Springer, his shows, I used to watch it as a kid.
Used to be a mayor.
Yeah, he was mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's a
I
lot of
can't
people
even
don't know
imagine
that.
that 'cause the man had no dignity.
He went to law school.
The man had no dignity.
Yeah, he went to law school.
No decorum.
He also, his show, he had a game show that I used to watch. I used to love. Actually, it was called Baggage.
Right.
Right, and it used to come on Game Show Network. This show was funny as fuck. This is way after the Jerry Springer show and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he had this show called Baggage. He was the host where it was a dating show. And people would come on the show. It'd be a male or a female. And of course, they incorporated all of that other shit in it too. But so you come on the show if I'm seeking to date, it'll be 3 people, and each round they had baggage about themselves. So the first round, I would come on, the people, the contestants is on, and they got to reveal a personal secret to baggage, hence the name of the show, Baggage.
Right.
And it'll say, I mean, it was some out there shit. And
it's out wild.
And the second round, the baggage was revealed, but you didn't know whose bag it was. And you had to eliminate the person. And then the third round will be another bag, a deeper secret. And then at the end, the person who was doing the picking, they had a bag to reveal too about themselves. And the person who they end up finally picking would choose if they was cool with the baggage or not. Right. That shit used to be funny as fuck.
Yeah, but I say, my thing is this. You can't hate on the Jerry Springer show because you got people right now on social media doing far worse dumb shit. Like you see somebody getting their ass whooped, and the first thing you want to do is take out your camera and post it.
He's
come on.
He is the sperm donor of today's society. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah,
he is. He's the sperm donor.
And you have people faking. You have people faking shit that wanted to be on Jerry Springer. Like, hey, let's fake like we don't like each other.
I know motherfuckers that have been.
Come on, man.
That shit was
what, 15 minutes?
$500 appearance fee and a hotel and a flight overnight, and motherfuckers will sell their soul. So I get 100% what you're saying. Like I said, he is the sperm donor.
But now folks are selling their soul for free.
For free. Exactly.
For likes. For likes.
For likes. Yeah, likes is a new drug.
You know one of the funniest things is right now, the past few days, the rapper Sukihana has been trending because she told about she liked to be pissed on and she was doing all kinds of things, right? But you know the funniest thing though, Sukihana is trending right now, been trending on Twitter pretty much all week for the wildest interview ever. Jerry Springer had a judge show.
And she was on the shit.
That was one of her first national appearances, was on the Jerry Springer judge show, and right now she's there. And there are people, like, don't get me wrong, y'all know me well.
Yeah.
I love the ratchet shit, right?
Mm-hmm. You for the ratchet.
I'm for the ratchets. I support the ratchet shit. But Suki Anna is a ratchet bridge that's too far for even me.
Dude, I'm going to just say this. When it comes to, like I said, this motherfucker's the sperm donor for all this bullshit we're dealing with.
Yeah, his DNA is in the mix.
And like you said, the Sukihana shit, and I'm going to segue to a new subject, but this is born of Jerry Springer. Society now, you got chicks, and I ain't going to call y'all bitches, but bitches be saying anything now for anything. Just for clicks and baits.
Anything's for anything.
Because you got these cats who do, you see the cats, and I mean, it's shit funny. But like the cats who sit up there and come up with the chicks, tell me the freakiest shit you've ever done on camera. And these motherfuckers telling this, I fucked the dad and the son, and woo. Judge Springer birthed all this shit. Right. That nigga's y'all daddy.
Because sometimes I watch those YouTube, and way YouTube is set up, if you watch one of those disrespectful videos, suddenly every video is that, because YouTube will be like, oh, that's what you like? So then you can spend hours. And sometimes I watch videos, and I think to myself, you couldn't have got that information out of me waterboarding me. Like, there's nowhere in the world a random motherfucker will point the camera at me and I would confess to some of the shit that they be freely confessing to. And I be sitting there like, what the fuck is wrong?
You can waterboard me.
Yeah, you not getting that information out of me.
That's one.
I keep in the butt. These bitches be, oh man, I remember I seen one clip. This chick was like, I was with my boyfriend and I told him I was going to the store and I went and fucked my ex and then came back and he ate and I fucked my ex raw and I came back and I wasn't the one trying to do nothing, but my boyfriend wanted to, and he started eating me and he really just ate the nut of my ex, and I was like,
that's nasty.
What bitches do that shit?
That's nasty.
That's exactly. But they just telling the shit for for likes and clicks and
Here's the thing.
all that shit is spawned from Jerry Springer.
I
don't think that was spawned from Jerry Springer.
Bullshit.
That was
that was the beginning of that freeway. They just got the extra relay, but that was
all this shit is an offspring of Jerry Springer. Remember, I remember Corey Holcomb, D. Ray Davis. They was on his show. You had all type of shit. Remember, he had one show.
People fighting on there though.
Exactly.
You had. What that got to do with?
Remember, dude came back.
Wow.
Remember the Jenny Jones show?
Oh yeah, I remember her.
And dude came back and killed the other dude.
Yeah, that's why her show got canceled because she tried to say, "Well, we let guests know that this, that, and the other." I was like, "No, you don't."
No, dude testified that he said that he told him, "Hey man, if it's gonna be some similar shit like this, don't include me." And they assured him it wasn't. And then they brought the dude out talking about I got questions and that shit was so he had to do so heated.
And it was one of the trailer park.
Yeah, when he got back home, he went and killed dude.
Yeah, because he felt he was embarrassed. Real don't kill him. Like, that was a wrong way to do that shit.
And now you got.
I just took the fuck out of that show.
You got all these shows.
You got a whole different shit.
You got.
But Jerry gave birth to that shit.
Exactly. Look at all the shows
Jenny
you got
Jones
now.
was doing that before I think Jerry Springer was doing it.
Well, no, Jenny Jones was actually doing some respectable shit like Ricky Lake.
And
then when Jerry came and was blowing everybody out the water,
she started the wars.
She pivoted to that to launch it up.
And then you had Maury with the You Ain't Your Daddy.
Right.
Just
and all of these spawned from like one show. I'm talking about one show like, Maury might have did a one show that You're Not the Father, and then just as a segment, and then it was like, hey, we got something here. That's it. That's all we should get a t-shirt.
You gotta watch Paternity Court. I watch it. I spend hours on YouTube every night watching Paternity Court with Lauren Lake. And
these hoes ain't loyal.
Let me tell you something, fellas. If you have a child with a woman, don't be afraid to say, hey, let's get a DNA test.
It's a real one.
Off top.
She may get offended at first, but if she confident.
Because then they be bringing kids out there. I be watching that shit and I'm 1,000% sure even his own mama be out there talking about he looked just like the baby pictures
that came on there about 4 or 5 times, and it took like the 5th time for them to go, you are the father.
How you having unprotected sex with 5 men in a 2-3 week period? That's a lot of unprotected sex.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that shit is wild, but man.
Speaking of wild, what y'all think of this Freaknik documentary finna come out?
Okay, before we talk about the Freaknik,
Before
we talk about the Freaknik, because that's coming, talk about the broad that you can't stand and you wish she rot in hell.
That bitch?
Yeah, okay. So, is she an honorable mention or we on?
No, fuck that bitch.
Okay.
Carolyn?
I don't even know you say her name.
Fuck her.
Spelling is a word. Yeah, rest in shit to the bitch who was behind the lynching of 14-year-old Emmett Till. That bitch gone. And I'm going to just say this. Remember how they went after OJ's money civil?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that why they didn't do that. Whoever protected that bitch
she was on hospice care. Why I want the bitch to die in a cell?
Hey, fuck her. Forever. I said it. I feel the way I feel.
One of his cousins came on Twitter today and said, well,
fuck that bitch.
We forgive her. He said basically the modern version of Rodney King, why we can't
that nigga got a call from Ray Donovan.
And then Tariq Nasheed got on Twitter and called dude the coon.
I seen that shit. I ain't got Twitter, but I saw him.
Everybody got mad at Tariq for calling dude the coon, but it's like this. Imagine one of your family members pretty much gets murdered for no reason, and the people who murdered them sit around and grin about it for years.
Exactly. And
you are truly a better person than me if you can fix your mouth to say, I forgive them.
Can I fuck y'all head real quick?
Mm-hmm.
They told y'all she died.
She didn't die soon enough. Pete just said she was dying, supposedly. She could have died in jail.
I was just saying, remember, the pressure was on. And all of a sudden it's, she just died. Yeah, wake me up at 3 a.m.
I have 2 family members who died in jail. No one said no mercy, grace, or sympathy for them. There was no compassionate release, none of that. So,
Fuck her. I said it.
Now on to the Freaknik.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
hey, in regards to Freaknik 94, I cannot confirm nor deny I was there.
Okay.
However, I know that I'm such an excessive gentleman that I know that if there's any clips of me in the background, I was behaving myself most appropriately.
Here's the thing. I was watching Sherry Shepherd, one of my favorite new daytime shows. Because Sherry, comedian, hilarious. She was talking about the Freaknik documentary, excuse me. And she said that there's a lot of females right now that are like doctors, lawyers, judges.
They got a lawsuit.
And they was like, who? You know what I'm
They got a lawsuit behind that shit.
You understand me? Because the Freaknik was
Double-edged
like,
sword.
because the Freaknik, it started off as a college thing. And then it just blew the fuck up. The only reason why I never made it to a Freaknik is because back in the day, I was broke. Even though I was working, I was broke. I couldn't afford to fly from California to Atlanta, round trip, and then put myself up in a hotel and all. Just for some footage. Couldn't do it. Now, had I lived in the East Coast, I'd been at the movie a year. But the thing is that, yeah, bro, it was like way too expensive just to go say, I went. Because you'd have spent at least, back there, you'd have spent at least $1,000 to $1,500 per person. You know what I mean? To attend something that you wasn't getting paid for. And I was filming stuff. So it was like, man, I wasn't flying all the way there to film something just to go, I was there. So, wasn't worth it to me. There was things that happened here that was similar.
I like how they highlighting all the inappropriate behavior, but man, there'll be easily, 50, 60,000 people out there. There's a few hundred bad actors.
Easily.
I mean, a few hundred bad actors to make the highlight reel, but 90% of the people conducted themselves like they had some sense.
Yeah. I think you see what happened is that the latter time of the Freaknik.
Yeah, because I'm the one that concentrating on 94.
The super hood rats. The disrespectful mother. You know what I mean?
You had them everywhere.
You're correct, because 94 was still civil.
Yeah, 94, you could go attend something like that and be cool.
You had Luke and them doing all
You had Luke and them doing stuff, and it would be no fights, it wouldn't be nothing. It'd be like, that's the concert.
Plus, in 94, you still had people who was essentially college students from all levels. Now, by 98, 99, you just had Negroes, period, from everywhere, cats in their 30s, down in their 40s, or cats who never stepped foot on a college campus. But in 94, you still had primarily, by 94, they've expanded beyond just HBCUs.
Right,
but it was still
that's where it started from.
But it was still, but in 94, 95, it was still college kids. Or young adults in their 20s. It wasn't until the later 90s that it really became a free-for-all where you started having cats who was 30-something, who was coming in, cats who had never stepped foot on a college campus.
Warren G's album, he had the 1994 Super Bowl draft.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
That's when he had
it. And then, like Nelly said, I got to see if Can't Leave Cancun. That's when you can kick it and really party. That's when you can really party and say, come home and go, I had a good time. Around 98, 99, and he was like, hey, man, that party was cracking. Tell them niggas start shooting.
In 94, Freaknik, even though it was way more people, it wasn't no wilder than Festival of the Lake or Lake Berryessa.
Oh, Berryessa.
I'm here to tell you. Even though they probably got videos of people grabbing chicks and this and that, Festival of the Lake videos got people grabbing. It wasn't no wilder than that. It wasn't.
You even had, I'm even go, I ain't gonna call it lower budget, but you even had Manteca shit.
Manteca used to crack.
Manteca used to crack.
I would tell you, like, you're right. With Manteca and with Berryessa, you could like the day that Berryessa would crack, you could be in the town and literally see nobody. And then about that though, you can see cats on their way to Berryessa and go, hey, I got 5 or 10 on the tank. Can I roll? And then you in the car and you out. You know,
I rolled up to Berryessa one time with some niggas I didn't know, and rode back with some other niggas. I didn't know the niggas I rode back with, but I hopped in the car with them because I couldn't find the niggas that I rolled up there with.
Used to crack. Like there was things they used to crack.
Right. So I'm just looking at just the. Like you got roaches and you turn the light on. Like you said, the responses from all these people who, oh man, they panicking.
Yeah, because they knew he was wilding out.
But here's and I'm gonna use my term. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. The way we go after the Pilgrims for they shit, like you got the owner of the Cal team, his young photo, the Pilgrims. Oh, he was just a kid. Let it go.
It was like, oh, he was just observing. He didn't know what was going on, so that was the look.
So for us,
okay, that's how you selling that.
I'm saying for us, I'm just saying. I'm just doing some editorial here. For us, it should be the same thing, right?
Right out.
Why everybody tripping?
Well,
I mean, you was young.
He was young. He was wild.
We don't get that grace.
No, we don't.
I know we don't. I know that, but I'm just.
Chad from Stanford going to Palm Springs gets boys will be boys.
Right.
Yep. Oh,
yeah, you get a felony.
What's your
cop?
Or Susie that was going to Stanford could be on what was that? Wild girls going wild and doing this. And what would she say? I was in college. I was with my girlfriends. It was that weekend, and we did our thing.
Well, let there be a prominent sister who's a judge or something right now that gets exposed on this documentary.
Exactly.
Her whole life and reputation is going to be ruined over some shit that happened almost 30 years ago. And that's just the reality. We don't get that.
I know we don't get it.
We don't get that pass.
We don't get it because you don't allow ourselves to get it.
Right.
But it's the same shit.
Yeah, it's like, well, basically, it's kind of like the Players Club, how you had women that were stripping to work their way through college. I mean, that was a job. Because they
wasn't hoes. They was doing what they needed to do.
Made a lot of bread. Like, let's keep it real. You know, made a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Like, them tips came in handy. Like, Caps was just like...
Shit, look at today's society. You got chicks with OnlyFans and all this shit. They doing all type of shit. And cassette, hey, when crack don't sell, pussy will. I mean, always.
That was dope.
I know of a doctor who's 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And one time she told us a story and she said, oh yeah, I used to strip in Greenwich Village in New York.
Damn.
And we looking at her and she like, shit, medical school is expensive. I stripped my way all the way fucking do that shit.
Hey, that's true. You got people
You know what I'm saying? But she's a respectable doctor here in the Bay Area, and she was like, shit. She was like, shit, I
got it out the mud.
She's like, ain't no secret. Shit, I stripped my way all through medical school.
Right. You get it out the mud. Now, and I'm just being...
And there's no footage of none of that.
Oh, no, if she hadn't told me, I'd never do.
If you want footage of this, a motherfucker in a club like this.
But you go, a Pilgrim movie would tell that same story with Lil Johnny had to sacrifice and the hell of nights with no food and yada yada. I'm not shaming, and this is not a shame conversation with any of y'all that did what y'all did, that Freaknik, that's what the lake, anything. None of that. What you had to do to further yourself, because that's what you have to do. You have to get out the cocoon and elevate. There are no short necks.
But you don't have to wait on the Freaknik documentary, because the show Unsung, they did something on the Freaknik.
Yes.
So if you watch
Shout out to P. Frank.
it's kind of like a prerequisite, but if you watch it, it would really tell the story of the Freaknik. And it would tell you how it started and how it ended. So you don't have to wait for the Freaknik documentary to come out in order to see something about the Freaknik. Mm-hmm. Look it up, Unsung, and they did a Freaknik version.
It ended basically because it started as an HBCU event, then expanded to black college kids, period, and then it grew to something that no respectable college kid would even go to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just considered too dangerous, too ratchet, too off the hook. And it just evolved.
I can mark myself safe from it because I didn't go.
I went twice. And
I wanted to go.
If I'm on any footage, I was conducting myself appropriately, so I'm good.
I didn't have no kids at the time.
I ain't never been no manhandle a chick walking by. I ain't never been no come here, grab it, and all that. I ain't never been that. I ain't never been that.
There's people that ain't never been nowhere. You know what I mean? Because it's like back in the day, it's like that. Things like Luke. You go to a Luke party, off the chain.
Remember Luke's Peep Show?
I've filmed the Luke
Yes.
parties.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
I
what I'm
know you
saying?
have.
I filmed the Luke parties. And it was off the chain. There was fights, there was no this, there was no that. Cats would be in there like, you know, it was like Palm Springs.
Luke's Peep Show.
Like some of these, because I go to a lot of music conventions, and some of these music conventions, these cats got private rooms, and these private rooms crank.
I went to
Right.
in 1998. I went to the Gavin in San Diego and went to Def Jam's yacht party. And
Jack the Rapper, all that shit.
I actually going to, but because they brought in a group from here. One of them, she's retired now. They called her Candy Apple in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple others. They Facebook friends of mine. And I was scarred for life leaving off that boat.
Yeah.
And Def Jam threw out so much money for this inappropriate behavior. But once again, if there was a motherfucker filming it, he just filmed me standing there on the side with a drink looking like this.
I remember.
The funny thing is, like, you know how they have the what is it? Like,
Actually, it wasn't 98, it was 99.
Remember, even the party that was in the movie.
Yeah.
In the movie, that party really cranked. That party really happened.
Well, that was in
The
the
hotel
hotel.
when
Yeah,
party.
if you see that footage, and then you will see a lot of cats in there like, oh damn, this is cracking. Like they didn't know that was gonna happen, but most of the industry parties back then happened like that.
Yeah,
Trust me. It
Because
was.
you got to remember, you got money, you got cats with money, you got cats with fame. You also got cats like me who was sliding there with a slick mouthpiece, and they didn't know if we had money or not, so they treat you appropriately.
Right.
And then you had full-on nudity, and strippers and chicks trying to compete with the strippers was not really an issue in the 90s. Like I said, there's no record of it.
Right.
There's no
There's no
video.
record
This
of
and
it.
that. There's no.
Niggas had Polaroids back then.
Right. And you were sitting there.
In fact, I'm here to tell you,
Exactly.
a lot of your favorite entertainers from the 90s that y'all call auntie and y'all show them so much respect. Part of the reason why they got on is because in some off-the-hook situations, they was the most off-the-hook. You know? And now they respectable aunties, probably even passing judgment on these girls today, half naked and this and that. Like, there was no cameras on. You was full naked. You know?
There it is.
Ass out.
Thank you, sir.
Your
Ass
rec-
is wiggling.
a lot of
Titties
we
jiggling.
like to look at a certain amount of because you know they were older now, they're respectable.
Yeah.
But now you can get record deals going viral, this and that.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, pretty much everybody was on. There was a story behind how they
There's
got
a
on.
different criteria.
And that's just how. And nobody held no judgment against nobody because that's really just how the game was.
Yeah. People had
It's
fun.
hella misogynistic.
People had fun, and that was the whole thing. It was like, you look at, I think the 70s, although the 70s was sexual, there was drugs that came with that. You know what I mean? And that really didn't go into the 80s.
Yeah, PT talking about Uncle Luke.
Yeah, the 80s were more party. You know what I mean? It was like we came out the 70s,
And if
you
you
had
had
the
to-
political stuff, you had the drugs, and you had the, you know what I'm saying, the
And the
whole
90s was just
thing.
pure
But the
ratchet.
80s, we just partied in the 80s, and then the 90s, the early 90s was good, but yeah, it got ratchet.
So I'm here to tell y'all as an official 90s representative, anybody who was active in the 90s that tries to start pulling some self-righteous shit on the youngsters, tell them shut the fuck up.
They
Please.
probably did some whole shit.
Because they went to something.
50 said it. I even posted shit. 50 said if your physical attributes was your key to fame, you did some whole shit.
Yeah, you know, anybody that was on in the 90s or active in the 90s, man.
I was
Knock
skinny,
it
and
the
I
fuck
was.
out.
I'm gonna tell you, I was skinny in the 90s, and I was sexy as fuck. I mean, I'm sexy now, but shit, I'm just keeping it a buck. I didn't have to go
If you was
to.
at the
I didn't have to
Gavin-
go to the Freaknik. I
If you
had
was
to
at the
Freaknik.
Gavin, if you was at the Gavin, you went to Freaknik, you went to Black Beach Weekend, you went to
You went to Galveston,
Black
New-
Ski Weekend.
Black
New
Ski
music,
Week.
Silver, New
You go
Music,
to
Silver,
Galveston.
Myrtle Beach, Black Bike
What
Week,
am I
and
missing?
all
Hot
that
August
shit.
nights.
Yeah, all that
Yeah.
shit.
Like,
nigga.
it was-
All that shit.
Like, things used to crank. And
And it's-
black folks used to gather and have fun.
Oh,
That was
motherfucker.
it. I wasn't going no place to party.
Hold on.
Man, them niggas from such and such here, nigga.
All that
It's
shit ain't nothing but
no.
our auntie. All that shit ain't nothing but an XO version of our auntie's pleasure parties that they had in the 70s and 80s, that we was in the basement and they would be like, you niggas stay downstairs and don't come up and want no water. Nigga, or they'd be like, nigga, come upstairs and do that dance. Show the guy dance. And then you go back in. Them pleasure parties.
Yep.
Back in the 70s, 80s, early 80s when they first came out with edible panties, them pleasure parties, nigga, I remember those.
The only difference now, between now and then,
Ain't
is that you got the Ice Spice and the Sukianas who are more in your face with it, but the activities and the antics,
Your auntie
the antics
doing
might
that.
have even been worse back
Your
then
uncles
because there
been
was
doing
no
that.
proof.
Right. There was no proof.
Your grandpa was doing that. Everybody was
I
doing
guarantee
that.
you, if your grandmother had over 5 kids, one of them, at least one, wasn't grandpa's. And you know the reason why grandpa didn't act a fool over it? Is because there's a motherfucker that looked just like him across town.
Somewhere. Probably walk past him every day.
Yeah.
And
That nigga had a whole secret family. That wasn't a secret, but it was a secret.
I had some cousins, and their daddy was a pastor. And as he was dying, he said, come in the room. And he said, over in the projects, y'all got a brother named Andre. Go find him. And died. They're like, what the fuck? So they went to the projects and they looking for Andre. And they walk all through the projects looking for Andre.
Yeah.
And nobody knows no fucking Andre. And one lady, the first lady they seen said, is you retarded niggas trying to say Andre? Because if y'all trying to say Andre, he lived right there. They would knock on the door, and the nigga Andre come outside, and he's a twin to them, just a little more brown skin.
Damn.
Pops had a full-grown son in there, pastor. And just the only why they knew was this nigga was like, I think I'm about to die. Y'all come here. Y'all got a brother, whoop-de-whoop.
I tell you, death bed confessions.
What I'm just saying, though, is that if your grandmother had over 5 kids,
All our main.
at least one, you know, because that one auntie that y'all talk about, she's a throwback to the Indian
The black
grandma.
sheep
The reason
family.
why she's red hair with green eyes. And
Remember what they just said?
that wasn't your grandpa daughter,
Mama's
man.
baby.
Knock it off.
Remember they said mama's baby,
Right.
daddy's maybe?
Yep.
But he can't say nothing to grandpa when she brought in a motherfucker that didn't look nothing like him. Because he had 2-3 motherfuckers in West Oakland
That's what they did.
that didn't look like they supposed to be daddy.
And now y'all women today breaking up with a nigga because he put a like under a bitch picture.
Nah, nobody got that shit.
Fuck out of here. Motherfuckers ain't strong.
Grandpa literally had.
I'm just joking, but that's joking.
No, you not.
I'm being funny.
But grandpa,
hilarious.
I know. Because your grandpa most likely had a whole nother family or at least one other kid out there that he never acknowledged. And your grandma ain't no fool. She knew.
She just
She
did what
just
she
did her
did.
thing. And when he said, oh, I'm going fishing this weekend, she was like, because there's a nigga across town who told his
Vegas
wife he
man.
was going fishing.
Right.
Yeah.
You see how it
Vegas
works?
man.
Yeah. And then it'd be like, hey, sweetheart, when I went fishing this weekend, you forgot my toothbrush. Now it was in your tackle box.
Yeah. But
She knew.
while we cracking jokes about it,
Yeah.
them folks came from a place of, at the end of the day, our family being together, our family surviving,
Right.
and stuff was more important than
Mm-hmm.
this nigga gonna go be a man. I'm not gonna blow the roof off our family
Right.
and our house and what we building. Now, if the nigga get to doing too much, I'm gonna do me
I'm
too.
gonna do- I'm gonna
But
do
at
a
the end of
show
the day,
polygamy.
they was more important than
I
that.
want to do a show on polygamy.
Women, though, nowadays, modern women will sometimes be willing to.
Conversation.
Modern day women will sometimes be willing to blow the whole shit up over some of the shit that grandma said. I ain't giving a fuck. Whatever that nigga do in the streets,
I
that's
seen
what the nigga do in the streets.
I seen a clip of this one sister, well-respected sister, and she spoke on this, and she was like, she was speaking on the differences of yesterday and today, like we on, and she said, y'all tripping on if he has sex with the chick and end everything. And I mean, I'm not defending nothing. I'm just speaking. I'm actually saying what this woman said. And it was like, she's like, motherfuckers want to have sex and fuck with. Back in the day, like, you spend money on this chick? The money that should have been at the house? Because
That's what's important.
if the household
Did you take resources?
from here,
Did I have to do it out on some shit while you was
and
up
I was
there
like,
drinking?
and I thought about it, I was like, damn, that's some real shit.
Right.
That's some shit. Because if you really want to have a conversation and learn some shit,
But then they
Don't
say
get me
being a
wrong,
player is a rich man's sport.
I told you that. I know that. It is. Multiple women is a rich man's game. But us men will always give you an ism. But if you want the yin to the yang, talk to some of these real OG females, or these females who really is seasoned and know some shit, because they'll tell you some shit that'll blow your mind.
Right. They wasn't willing to fuck up nothing for dumb shit.
What?
When some of these women, you can get the best man in the world and you're willing to fuck it up for dumb shit. You're willing to fuck it up because you want total goddamn control, when actually, what are you really trying to control? Because the nigga didn't, he's supposed to be, he usually comes home at 6 o'clock, but the minute he comes home at 6:20, you're tripping. Like, you know what I mean? Just real dumb shit. You didn't answer my text right away. Okay, niggas can be busy too. You know what I mean? Or you turn it on the location on the motherfucker's phone. If you gotta do that, you don't need to be with a motherfucker that you can't trust. I mean, there's so many things that you're willing to fuck up a relationship for, and the only thing that you do is you turn around and get with a motherfucker that don't give a shit, and you respect the fuck out of it.
Yeah, he might be
worse.
worse.
He'd be like this, yeah, man, I was with my ex-girlfriend, she was tripping and this, and I was with her. Why was you with her? Hold on, bitch. He came, and then all you gonna do is let that nigga go on his way, and then you gonna be like, all you have to do was tell me. Okay, now it's a whole different story. But
it comes to the term of, and this goes both ways. Can people handle the truth?
No.
People can't.
No. The average person can't.
But
People can't handle it.
And don't fall for that. Just tell me the truth. Don't fall for that.
No. I hear you. But at the same time, you tell the motherfucker what's up. And if they can deal with it, deal with it. Right. Because then there should be no keying on my car, no cutting on my clothes. I told you what the fuck was up. You either accept it or reject it. You either get on or you get on.
Right. But the funny thing is, basically, the point that I just made was this. Go to Destiny's Child. Pay my telephone bill, you can pay my automobile bill. Okay, bitch, I'm pay all of that shit. And now can we go out your bugaboo, and ladies leave your man at home, all this bullshit. But then the next song is, I need a soldier. Okay, soldier ain't doing none of that shit. You need, make up your mind. You want to come up, I'm gonna do all of this shit, but you want to sneak out, step out on the nigga, sneak out with your girlfriend, but a soldier gonna be like, oh, bitch, just like that? Okay, well, let me show you something right here. You gonna respect the fuck out that nigga. You'll get that probably the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get it. Because the thing is, ain't nothing new under the sun. And the shit pimping been pimping. And I don't mean the shit that y'all see that HBO did where you tell people to go. I don't mean that. I just mean mental pimping. And the pimp is put it in my pocket. Male or female is not gender exclusive. Conversation run the nation. Procrastination is a violation. So,
hey, so you gotta say that slower. When you say pimping, put it in my pocket. You gotta get the acronym, bro, because they missed that.
Okay, you get that at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, speaking of, I'd be remiss if we did not sit here and say shout out, happy birthday to the legend, Too Short.
Oh, Short.
Happy birthday, Short Dog.
Happy birthday to Short Dog, man.
Oh, Short Dog's in the house.
What's your favorite Too Short song?
Oh, Whistle.
Delphine beat.
Mine's just Blow the Whistle.
Delphine beat, cuss words. Oh my God. Freaky Tales, Cocktails. I really don't know.
But
Gallo, Short but funky. The man got hits.
Yeah, he got hits, but yeah, I just like, I think with Blow the Whistle, he just lets you know.
He did, yeah.
And last 300 months or 60
Me on the front.
Right.
And they bump.
So shout out to the God. Show.
I give it a short. One thing about Bay Area rappers, dude, is that these cats still be in the game. There is not a rapper today that has, if you team up, like, if you take E40 and Short and put their albums together, because they have one of the best, but if you put their albums together, you got to put 5 or 6 other rappers together with all their music. You can't even come close to what them cats got.
And
Too Short has, 16 albums, 15 years ago?
yeah.
He was already on number 16?
Mhm.
Come on, man.
I mean, the thing is,
It's still making great music.
exactly. And you got to remember,
That longevity, you
Sure.
gotta respect it.
ooh, one of my favorite Too Short songs, Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches.
Oh, damn.
83.
Did you go there?
83.
40 solid years.
83. This is 2023. It's 83. But you look at society, and once again, I'm gonna reel you in with this. In our culture of hip hop, melanated blackness, you niggas that call yourself black, you know what I mean? We put a limit, an age limit on us.
Right.
You look at rock and roll, you look at other genres of
And
music.
Motherfuckers 65s. to
These
sell out.
motherfuckers touring at 70. Ozzy
Right.
Osbourne is like half past dirt.
Right.
And he probably got a show next week in Tulsa, wherever the fuck that
And it's going to be sold out.
I saw on Twitter that the proof that Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't have money is that Jay-Z 50 and still touring. And I'm like,
That's where you get your money.
Mick Jagger is 78 touring. Elton John was 80 going on a world tour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand? And that's it.
Elton John broke.
And
Mick Jagger broke.
Not at all. And they've been selling out stadiums all their life.
Journey, that's the thing. But here's the
Sting,
thing.
The
like
Eagles.
Police.
But here's the thing, because what happens
Fleetwood
is
Mac is about to go on
Solid
tour.
70 plus.
the industry and society, that this ratchet society that Jerry Springer spawned, will have you convinced that
He brought it full circle.
I'll go there. You know what I'm saying? I do them gems. Will tell you that in our community is an age limit and the cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
But
True.
and the record deal is your bread and butter, and a lot of people bit and suck that shit down. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
You make your money touring,
Yeah,
no
all
matter
day.
who you are.
All day.
You-
Merchandise.
you got-
tour.
You got R&B groups right now. You got El DeBarge out doing shows every
Right.
now and then. You look, you even see the shit that they had SWV and Escape, and they had a
They saw both
fake
of
ass,
them.
hold on, they had a fake ass
Yeah.
reality show where it was
Actually
supposed to be
watched it.
beef. I don't watch that shit,
I
but
watched it. That's pretty good.
I don't watch it because
You can
everything
taste
is.
the cakes.
I get it. They think. Bless you, sisters. I'm not a hater, but I'm just against the principles of the shit that promotes the bullshit.
Right.
Hollywood hoes of Bird Game.
I watched that shit.
I don't watch none of
I
that
don't.
shit.
I don't watch a lot of reality shows. I
Because it's
watch.
bullshit.
I
But
watch
I'm just saying.
one.
Baddies West Coast and the host of
fuck
Raw.
that.
Tune in.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
tuning
I'm
in.
sorry. Sisters, go do something better with yourselves. Stop thinking that this get rich quick shit. Stop, please, please, please. Y'all selling y'all soul for fucking ripper slippers and a fucking pack of ramen noodles.
But there's money to be made off that shit. In fact, you know, I was finna send Sugar like a guided missile into them shows.
Nah, dude. I'm not with the
Back at the barrier,
No.
West Coast Baddies,
No.
Sugar was in there
No.
brawling.
Somebody tell us what's the score with the Warriors because we got to
Yeah.
watch this game.
Yeah, we finna go watch this game. We finna end this. Hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in because we did this Warriors night. You see them already.
Yeah.
It's gold blooded. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna give y'all some shit.
Cold blooded. That's good.
Gold blooded.
I'm cold-blooded.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all some ism real quick. A king will always need a warrior to defend his kingdom.
Mm.
A warrior will never need a king.
Mm.
You know why? Because a warrior does what the fuck he want. A king is a servant.
Mm.
So y'all motherfuckers who you gotta be a king before you can be a whatever. What does a king do? He gets overthrown. And when they overthrow, when the people get mad, what do? They come and kill the king, bitch. Yeah, know about it. Slaughter, game 6, Warriors in 6. You know what it is. Gold blooded. Hey, and all my sack folks, I still love y'all. You know I talk shit. This is just sports. But at the end of the day, you ain't got no rings.